Here he is. Welcome to 100% LCFC. We should be live. I'm just checking that the feed is working. So thanks for joining us on 100% LCFC tonight. I'm Phil. This is
Jake.
And welcome. We want to hear from you. We've got a few things we think you want to talk about, but it doesn't matter what we think. It really is what you guys think. So just while I'm checking if this is working, and it is, that's great. Comment below what you want to chat about, Jake. A few things for tonight. What's on your mind?
Well, obviously tomorrow, third round of the FA Cup, we've got Chelsea at home. Big game, mainly because of Kante maybe coming to play.
Yeah, the return of Kante. We'll come on to that.
Yep.
We can obviously look back quickly at the Slimani. What a debut that was. Stunning Slimani, I think we've called it. That was a fantastic start, wasn't it? A great result that everybody wanted. So put some comments in about that. Generally, let us know what you want to talk about. We've got a few prizes to give away. Competition. I guess I could start with the competition, which is we're going to pick in this live feed one winner. So if you want to comment your name, what is the prize? The prize is a free taxi to and from the game. So it saves all the parking, all the messing around. You can all drink a shandy if you want to, or whatever you want to do. But ADT Taxis have offered us a free taxi. The only proviso is you do need to live in Leicestershire somewhere. So in the comments, if you want to win this prize, just put where in Leicester you live and tag the mates that you want to come in it. So if you want to come with a couple of mates, tag their names in it. Okay, so that's the first prize. We're going to draw that in this competition, in this live feed. So let's start. I think one of the big things we want to start with is what's tomorrow's lineup going to be? So in the comments, start to put down who you think the starting 11 is going to be. Me and Jake, we've sat down and we've had a little look, haven't we? And we've got our predictions on here as to who we think. So, Jake, do you want to talk us through some of the starting team as you see it?
Yeah, we put Zila in goal.
Yeah.
We said on Twitter, we asked who you thought should start in goal for tomorrow's game, either Casper or Zila, and 72% of people said Zila. Which I agree.
I think Zila will start. I think Ranieri has already come out and said Zila will start. He has hinted that Casper will be fit for Saturday and probably Casper will start at Man U. I think you'd have to have wild bulls to stop Casper starting at Man United, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you got to look at it. Zila had a great game against Burnley. Didn't let a goal in. I think that's our first clean sheet.
No, Swansea 2-0. But Zila did have a good game. He didn't have too much to do. Made an outstanding save in the second half, didn't he, when it took that deflection?
Yeah, but he's done well in that game, and you never know what could happen. If he does well tomorrow, who knows? Maybe Casper's got to be fighting for his place rather than he's just going to be the person to play against Man United. But hey ho, we've got Vasilevsky, Chilwell, Hernandez so far in the defence, which I agree because they've not had much game time, so it does give them some time to. Where do you
think Chilwell? I think Chilwell will play tomorrow, and where do you think he'll play? Will he play centre back? You think left back?
Left back. So
if Vasilevsky comes in, who will play with Vasilevsky?
Vasilevsky and Hernandez in the middle.
You think Hernandez in the middle?
Maybe Benalouan on the right.
Yeah, there is talk that Benalouan might well play tomorrow. I mean, he's been the forgotten man of Leicester, hasn't he? We signed him last summer for about 4 or 5 million. Barely made a start. I think he went out on loan last season, didn't he, to Fiorentina, I think. Not really featured for Leicester, and yet he came with quite a good reputation. Yeah. And we didn't sell him. I thought he'd be one of those players that we did shift on. So.
Maybe he's, I don't know how old he is, maybe he's one of the young players that we're looking for the future, or he's just not been given his chance yet to shine, and maybe he's just waiting for it.
So do you agree with that back lineup? We're going with Hernandez, Chilwell, Vasilevsky and Benalouan at the back four with Zila in goal. So if you agree with that, let us know. If you think it's going to be different, I think he is going to make massive changes tomorrow. So put in the comments who you think is going to be the starting lineup. We're going to move on to the midfield. We've got one name in it. Well, yeah, 2 names.
Got Gray. I'm thinking Gray on the right.
Yep.
King in the middle with either Schlupp or Kaputska. Either Schlupp or Kaputska in the middle or the left. I think them two are going to be right.
Schlupp is definitely back fit. I think Kaputska will make an appearance, and we like what we've seen of him, haven't we? Which hasn't been a lot.
Yeah, well, if he makes a good debut tomorrow, hopefully, maybe he might get a shout in for the Man U game.
Definitely looks an exciting player. Schlupp probably going to end up on the left wing. That's what we think. Do you agree with that? Definitely think Andy King's going to make an appearance in there. Matty James, by the way, still isn't fit. Still not back. It's been a long injury, hasn't it, for Matty James?
A couple of years now.
About 18 months, I think. I think it was in about April
I
the
thought
year
it was
before,
near
wasn't
Christmas
it?
time, but hey.
Gosh, it's been a long time for Paul Matty James, another forgotten man. So he's not in. And I can also confirm we hear Mendy will not feature tomorrow. He's still not fit. So Mendy and James not in. You're going for King and Gray, Kapuchka and Schlupp. Now, I don't know. Do you agree with that, or do you think? Let's see what the fans say. I'm going to read some of their comments as you go with your striking partners.
Okay, I've got. I think it will be Musa and Ulloa who are going to be playing. Musa's not really been playing much, and he was a £50 million player. So I think to keep him fit, we might play him tomorrow. Same with Ulloa. He's now Slimani's come in. He might need some more game time to keep his fitness up. Okazaki, I think, might come on as a sub, maybe halfway through or whatever, just to make sure his fitness is okay, since he didn't play on Saturday.
He didn't play on Wednesday last week against Bruges or on Saturday, did he? Against Burnley. So Okazaki, I think Okazaki will start, but whether it's with Ulloa and Musa, I think Okazaki and Musa, well, that might work. I mean, it'd be exciting.
We kind of like Okazaki and Vardy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Ulloa would be frustrated if a match like tomorrow he doesn't get a starting lineup. I don't think they'll go with Slimani. He obviously had a fantastic start on Saturday.
We're going to save him for Man United. I think.
I don't think there's any way that Vardy Slimani is going to be up there. But I think between Musa Ulloa, comment who you think is going to start. I'm going to read a few comments out, Jay. Robert Ross says Slimani to start.
I don't think he will.
Robert.
He played on Saturday. Excuse me. He played on Saturday and he had an amazing game, scoring 2 goals and 2 good goals and crucial goals. Because if we didn't get them and we didn't have the opportunity to get them, it would have been 0-0 till because we had a lucky own goal, didn't we? So
yeah,
against Burnley, it's one of those games where we went in thinking we should win. And if Slimani didn't get those 2 goals, who knows what could have happened?
Owen Wayne says he'd have Gray over Schlupp. Well,
you could play them both.
Yeah, I think maybe both will play. I agree. If you're asking me which player I preferred out of Gray and Schlupp, I would think it would be Gray for me. By the way, I think I heard that Gray had tweeted about a week ago just one word, which was impatient. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. So I know that he is slightly getting frustrated. He's just got to wait his turn.
He shouldn't be getting frustrated, to be honest, because he was a young player, and the reason we bought him from Birmingham for such a low price, I think it was around about 5 million, was because he is going to be a future star.
Yeah.
So same with Chilwell. I mean, they're all players where when players like Fuchs or Albrighton or someone like that just leaves, or even Mahrez, if Mahrez had have left in the summer, then Gray would have been the player to come in for him.
Yeah, I think Gray has to. I think a lot of players like Gray have to realise he's got to wait his turn. In early January, he's playing for Birmingham. By the end of May, he's got a winner's medal on his mantelpiece, as they say. So, a few more comments for the fans. Do put your comments in and let us know what you think. Pramesh has commented, and he's going in for the competition, the ADT taxes competition. He's commented that he's from Wigston and he's got a couple of mates, Jamie and Josh, he'd like to take. So if you do want to be in the competition, we will draw that by the end of this live feed. So put your comments in there. A couple more things to talk about. I mean, come on, let's get on to Kante. Kante returns tomorrow. What sort of reception is he going to get tomorrow?
Well, I mean, you have to realise that it is only a third-round League Cup game. Kante might not start because Kante might want to be saving him for their next fixture. But Kante, as we all know, is a machine and can play in League Cups, in FA Cups, in the league games without a break. So if he does come, I think there might be some boos, but I think that might just be people being a bit annoyed that he left. But I think that the majority of fans, and I think the majority of the fans who do this will be right, giving them a standing ovation and a warm welcome back to the King Power.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting to hear. What do you fans think? Do you think what sort of reception you give Kante? Personally, I agree totally with Jay. I think anybody who gives Kante any grief tomorrow is well out of order. The guy was a major piece in the most majestic season ever for Leicester, and a lot of that season last year, the result was down to Kante's performances. So I think, yes, he moved on, and we're all upset that he moved on, but that is football. And I think if anybody wants to give him Leicester, should, in 20, 30 years' time, he's going to be still part of that team whose names are there on that wall painted that we saw the other day
Yep.
as part of the champions winning team. So I think it'd be well out of order to give him stick, and I don't think Leicester fans will. I think Leicester fans will give him the credit and give him a good reception. Like you, I don't think he'll play tomorrow.
No, but I think you have to remember, that he did help us in a major part, and players do leave. Even the biggest players, Ronaldo, when he was such a massive player at Manchester United, he left for Real Madrid. I know that Chelsea isn't a Real Madrid, but they are definitely a well-organised, big side. So I can't blame him for leaving, and I think you have to look at the Leicester side and just look at how many players who didn't leave who could have left. Mahrez, Vardy, even some defenders, midfielders who didn't leave, who could have left, and they stuck with Leicester. So you have to give more credit about that and less moaning about one player leaving.
Obviously, Chelsea lost on Friday night against Liverpool 2-1, and I have seen Kante's come out in the press, apparently, and whether these quotes are true or not, but he is quoted as saying he can't do all the other Chelsea players running around. He has been moaning about his Chelsea teammates. He looks a little disgruntled at some of that, and if you could see how Chelsea were playing, it didn't look like the total team performance that he was getting with Leicester. But hey, we have to move on, like we've said.
Who knows? Maybe next season, when if Chelsea flop this season again, he might think that Leicester might be the team to come back to.
Robert Ross backs that one up. He says Kante wants to come back to Leicester. I don't think that would ever happen in a month of Sundays, but thanks for that, Robert. Let's read a few more fans' comments out. Do put your comments in. Let us know some of the score predictions as well. Of course, we're running that competition. So Vince McDonnell says 2-2 with Okazaki to score first. So I believe there would be extra time tomorrow. Is that right? Or is it straight off to penalties at 90 minutes?
I don't know if the rules change straight to penalties, but I think it might be.
Let us know. Is it penalties tomorrow at 90 minutes, or is it extra time?
I can't remember, but
it keeps changing all these rules.
I'm just going to say my score prediction for tomorrow now, if that's okay.
It is okay.
My score predict. I think with the team, because our second team now, the last season or the season before, our second team would have been reserves, players who you would have been like, do they actually play for us? And you would never have known them. But now you're looking at our reserves. You've got Ulloa. He's a known goal scorer. He does score goals in the Premier League. Was our top goal scorer in the first season. Okazaki is a known well player. Musa is a £15 million player.
Yeah.
Kaputska's a £6 million player. Zila is a top goalkeeper. We've got a massive second team now. So you got to think about it and think, we could beat Chelsea.
I agree. I think all those players are going to be itching to be in the first team, aren't they? So
they're going to put a performance in.
They'll be very desperate tomorrow night to put in a big performance and try and get themselves into maybe the starting team for Man United, or put themselves very much in Ranieri's mind. You didn't pick who's going to be your first scorer then? And do comment your first scorers and the correct final score.
It obviously depends who plays it, and you have no idea who's going to play. But I think if Musa plays and starts, I think he'll be our first goal scorer.
So you're going for Musa to score first, and a final score?
My final score will be 2-1.
2-1 to Leicester in 90 minutes.
In 90 minutes.
Because we don't know if there's penalties or extra time, so do let us know. I think Okazaki's going to start.
Yeah.
Is he going to score? Doesn't very often, unfortunately, does he? But I'd like to see him score. I'd like to see him push himself back into the edges of the team, because I think he, again, a bit like Kante, I think Okazaki was one of those heroes from last season where his work rate epitomised what was great about Leicester. So a big fan of Okazaki. I think Slimani, we haven't really talked about Slimani from Saturday, have we? But we called him I think we said on Saturday in a video, we said he's like Ulloa, a better version of Ulloa. He looks a bit bigger, a bit more powerful, a bit stronger. Faster, more physical, more skillful, more goals. He looks the real deal, doesn't he, Slimani?
Yeah, 2 goals on your home debut is a fantastic achievement, and I think every Leicester player is excited to see what he can do now, and especially against Man United away. That'd be a real big test for a first away game. Manchester United, they've got a massive side, but Manchester United have been struggling. They've lost their last 3 games. They lost to Man City. They lost to whoever they lost to in the Europa League. I can't remember the team. It began with an F, I think.
It was
It was something.
Tell us who it was. It was a German team. It was Mönchengladbach, I think.
It wasn't a big team, and then they lost 3-1
away at Watford.
To Watford, and you got to look at that and think Man United are going to be down. They're going to be wanting probably to win, but they're not going to be at their top form. So you're going to, I think, have to take full advantage of that and get early goals. Maybe make it 2-0 and just end the game.
A few fans' comments before we finish up here today. Carl Goodwin says Kante was a big part of our success last season, so definitely deserves to be applauded. Quite right, I think, Carl. We all agree with that. Jason Coulton says applaud him. It's a no-brainer. Champions League man. Adam Ward goes for 2-1 Leicester with Musa to score first. That's what you said as well. So he's agreeing with you. A few more comments before we finish off. Isaac Smith says keep Slimani and Vardy up front. I don't think they will. I think they'll rest them, won't they?
I think it means for Manchester United.
Oh well, we're talking about Chelsea, but I mean we've got just a fact for you. We've got 7 games in 22 days. We're sort of halfway through it now, but that's a tremendous amount of games this early on in the season. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to use the squad, and that's why it's bought players. Robert Ross says Leo needs a game. He's a game changer. Come on, you're not the biggest Ujoa fan, are you? I really like Ujoa, and he scored some very important goals last season.
I think we do need Ujoa a bit, but if we are losing or we're drawing against a team where you want to be winning or we look like we could score, then I don't think Ujoa really is the person you want to bring on. I'm personally, if we were losing 1-0 or we were drawing at like 60, 70, 80 minutes, I would bring on Musa just because that pace is just so fast and he can get around behind the defenders, and I think pace is a bit more exciting and a bit more dangerous to me personally than someone who can score 1 in every couple of games, maybe if he played it all the time.
Well, I'm
just not a big fan.
No, I know. I do like Ujoa. I know he scored late goals last season, didn't he? That got us some critical points. He also scored some goals in the Great Escape. So I do like Leo, but when I see him and when I see Slimani on Saturday, they're different types of player. Well, similar players, but Slimani looks the real deal, doesn't he? Yeah. I can see why he looked 30 million. Let's read a last few comments before we're going to pick the winner from the ADT competition. If you wanted a free taxi to and from the game, save your parking money, means you can all have a shandy. You've got 20-30 seconds to put where you want picking up from and tag some mates in it. So last couple of chances to do that while we read some out. Let's have a look here. Tracy Ann says, where's Mendy? He's injured still. Jeff Sharp says, clap Kante after that. He is a Chelsea player. Yeah, I agree. Applaud him on and then, And then play. Let's get on with it. Alison Thomas says, Musa and Okazaki up front with a Leicester win 3-1. Who do you think will score first, Alison? And Lee Clark says Feyenoord.
I don't know what that means.
I do.
I don't.
Isn't that who Man U lost to?
Oh,
Wakey, come on.
Yeah.
Terry Payne goes for 2-1 Leicester and a Kante own goal. I can't.
If Kante plays, I kind of want to see him play well, because at the King Power you do miss what he can do, and if he comes, you don't want to see him doing what he did last season. You don't want to see him have a bad game. The
last few from Greg Topless. Well done, Greg. By the way, Greg won the pizza on Saturday. He predicted that Leicester would win 3-0. And who scored the first goal on Saturday? Slimani. He predicted that. Well done, Greg. He won 2 pizzas. He's predicted again this week, so don't let him win. He goes 2-1 Slimani if he starts, or 2-1 Musa if Musa starts. He can't. He's hedging his bets there. Can't do that.
You even said in the last couple of videos you're allowed as many.
Oh, you are. Well, I guess. Yeah. I guess have as many goes as you like. He also says, do we think Chilwell should start at left back? We've said yes. And he says, hopefully everybody will give Kante a good reception. So thanks, Greg. Thanks for that. Now, Jay, I'm going to get you to, at random, scroll down this and pick one of these people. This is for the ADT. We've had quite a few entries. That's it. Now, have a look and pick one. That is Leanne Clark. Leanne Clark is from Loughborough and she is tagged in Kelly Clark, Kevin Howard and Dylan Nathan. So you're going to get a free lift to the match Can you just type a reply in there? Jake's going to reply to them live as we're speaking. So who was that? Leanne Clark and Kelly Clark and a couple of others. Well done. You've won. Free lift from ADT Taxis to the match. No parking. You can all have a shandy. Free lift back. Make sure you inbox us your details. We're contacting you now on this. I think we're going to wrap it up now. Don't forget to enter the competition with Peter's Pizzas. Predict your first goal scorer and the correct final score. And we've got another competition later in the week with our pals down at Yates's Bar, where we're going to be giving away some more beer and some more prizes for the live match that's on TV. That's on Saturday, Leicester against Man U. Jake, are you going to go and run and do the technical bit?
Yes, I will.
So goodbye from Jacob. And it's goodbye from me. Thanks for watching 100% LCFC. We're here just for you fans. Look forward to speaking to you. Cheer the lads on. Give Kante a round of applause. Get your predictions in and speak to you at the match.